Hey, what's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken, and welcome back to another video. The Midnight Masquerade update has just come out, and with it has come an updated version of the patch notes, which includes some changes that they made on the PTS, as well as actually finishing off some of the dev commentary and adding things like the skins, which weren't there in the first version of the patch notes. Yeah, I have no idea why. But anyways, if you want to read the patch notes for yourself, I'll have a link to them in the description. You can also just go to the Paladins website, click on the news section, and then they're the first one right here. But if you don't want to do that, then I will be giving the highlights of the patch notes here, just as kind of a recap in case you forgot or you're new and this is your first time looking at the patch notes. Now, real quick before the video starts, I just want to say that if you've been enjoying my content as of recently, scroll down beneath the video and make sure that you're subscribed. Over half my audience is not subscribed, and I'm trying to reach 60,000 subscribers as quickly as possible. So please hit that big red sub button, and with that being said, let's get started. So of course, the first thing of notice is the brand new Midnight Masquerade Event Pass, which has some skins that I've already showcased on the channel when the PTS came out, but of course we can have a quick look at them here. So we have Crimson Crow Corvus, and then Eternal Waltz Corvus as the purple recolor of that skin. It feels like these images here are a bit low resolution, but yeah, I assure you they actually look pretty darn good in-game. Then we have Dance Macabre Vora, and Patchwork Assassin Vora, which I think Patchwork Assassin looks absolutely amazing. I would consider this to be the best skin of the update, but that's my personal preference. Let me know what you think in the comments. We also have some other Midnight Masquerade themed cosmetics, including these sprays here, all of which look pretty sick. We've got some avatars. We've also got 2 loading frames, which is pretty neat indeed, a death card, and then we've got some non-event pass cosmetics. We have these 2 Caspian skins, Pride of the Realm and Long Live the King, which are both 800 crystal direct purchases. Then we have the Edgar Allan Crow mount. God, and it has 600 crystals, or you can get it through the Diamond Trove. We also have this Grover MVP pose, which didn't actually know about until looking at the patch notes, so that's good to know, and it'll be from the Flair and Style chest. And then they also are adding some new loading screens. Now, we didn't actually know about this on the PTS, or at least if it was on the PTS, no one bothered to check. So we've got Ripjaw Buck, Copacabana Cassie, a bunch of other skins here, which I'll let you read out. They're on the screen, of course. You can pause if you want to read them. We also have some more skins. A lot of skins added as direct purchases. So again, pause the video if you want to see any of these skins. I'll kind of scroll through them just a little bit. There are so many. And there's this one which is missing a space. Cryptic. There's also a few more skins being added to the Diamond Trove, so Corrupted Atlas Io, Vile Atlas and Io, Digitized Bomb King, and Sigma Vivian are all available in the Diamond chest now, so a lot of skins available for you if you weren't around at the time to pick these up. Really, really nice. We've also got these 5 holiday avatars, which you can get by playing 2 games during the giveaway event, or just purchasing them for 1 gold, and they all look pretty nice. It's also Paladins' official 5th anniversary, and to celebrate, they're giving away a bunch of free cosmetics throughout the next few weeks, starting, of course, today. So you can get the Paladins' 5th anniversary avatar for week 1, starting today, up through the 24th. Then we have the my favorite cosmetic here. It's a feature spray. It's truly the most fitting spray they've ever added to this game. That'll be available from the 24th to the 31st. Then, starting in June, you can get the Brought Back Payload title. The community brought back Payload, and we're here to celebrate. Then we also have this animated avatar for week 4, starting June 7th to June 14th. And then for the very last week, you can actually get the Fernando Announcer Pack, which is not a new Announcer Pack, but it's one of the best Announcer Packs, and if you don't have this one, I definitely recommend picking it up. They're giving it away for free starting on June 14th. So, very cool event here, lots of fun stuff to celebrate, and it's free! You just gotta play the game. Next up, let's talk a little bit about this general update here, which is mode rotation. So we did learn a little bit about this on the PTS, but they've added even more commentary here, and so I'm going to go ahead and read it out. This is from the devs. To peel back the curtain a bit, our original plan was to retire Payload at the end of this patch. Community, we've heard your voice, and we know you're not ready to say farewell to it just yet. The main problem this poses now is splitting the population between too many queues, which causes longer times for matchmaking and more games where the matchmaker just can't find a good match in time and forces any match. Instead, we're going to temporarily rotate out Onslaught and King of the Hill. Those modes will be returning in the future. This will allow us to keep Payload on longer than we expected and provide a better matchmaking experience. We selected the Onslaught and King of the Hill queue because, now that we're looking at rotating game modes in and out, that gives us the opportunity to separate the 2 game modes when we rotate them back in. In the meantime, we'll be rotating Onslaught as it is back into the LTM slot for alternating weekends during Midnight Masquerade. In addition, we've heard players growing somewhat fatigued of choose any team deathmatch, so we're swapping that out for the original team deathmatch instead. So this is definitely a very controversial change, because some people of course do enjoy playing Onslaught, myself included. I think I would say I enjoy Onslaught a bit more than Team Deathmatch, but I think it's very good that they're rotating out Choose Any, because Choose Any is just... it's toxic, man. The fact that you could just randomly run into like 3 Androxuses, 3 7s, 4 7s, something like that, it's not fun, man. So very glad to see that happen, and it is nice that Onslaught isn't totally going away, since it'll just be a limited time mode for a while. But yeah, it's definitely a very weird change, but it does make sense given what they said up here about the queues, because it definitely does cause issues having so many queues available all at once. That's partially why payload matchmaking is bad, because, well, I think it is still the kind of least queued for mode. Part of that has to do with it being available only during the week, so you never actually get to play it on the weekends, and that's when most people play. So there are definitely some problems there, and hopefully this will alleviate that a little bit, because now we'll just have Siege, Payload, Team Deathmatch during the week. And then in the weekend, we'll of course have the limited time mode, but generally there will only be 3 queues now, and then also ranked. So yeah, this will definitely help out with that. But of course it is a little bit bittersweet, and it is a little bit weird. My suggestion has always been, let's add an arcade mode. So you have Siege, and you have Arcade. And Arcade is just the big agglomeration of Team Deathmatch, King of the Hill, Onslaught, and Payload. Or if you want to get rid of King of the Hill entirely, because most people don't like that mode, then just Team Deathmatch, Onslaught, Payload. So you have basically this game mode where you can just get anything, and you only ever have 2 queues. Might be a good solution, might not be. I guess you can let me know what you think about that in the comments below, but that would be how I would do it. But instead, we're just rotating out modes for different patches now, so... very interesting decision from the devs, and it's nice to see more dev commentary about that. Alright, so next up, let's talk about Ranked, where we're getting the introduction of Crossplay, and also a fresh, hard reset. So, with the Midnight Masquerade patch, they're introducing Crossplay to Ranked queues, and this is basically where controller players and keyboard and mouse players will be playing together, just like we have in casuals, except it's forced crossplay. So you know that crossplay setting in your options menu? That has no bearing on ranked whatsoever. If you turn crossplay off there, you'll still be playing with controller players in ranked. So I want to make that very clear, it is forced crossplay. So yeah, we're basically consolidating these 2 player bases into 1 queue. And the result of that, of course, is that you're going to have hopefully faster queue times, and also hopefully better matchmaking, because the matchmaker algorithm will have more diamond players to choose from, more masters players to choose from, and I guess on the opposite end of the bell curve, more bronze players to choose from. And so you'll hopefully be getting matches where you have more people of your similar rank. So, as you guys know if you've been following my ranked videos, matchmaking is not very good right now, and this will hopefully alleviate those issues. But of course it also does bring up the question, how is this going to affect the game when it comes to the meta? Because controller players and keyboard players have 2 very distinct metas due to the fact that aim assist is so strong, and the sticks also don't really allow for projectile play that well, because, well, also to do with the aim assist. It makes projectile play hard, it makes flicky champions like Eevee really hard, whereas on keyboard and mouse you don't have the aim assist locking you onto heads, and it's also a lot easier to flick shot with characters like Vatu, so... yeah, 2 very distinct metas are going to be colliding in ranked, and honestly, I think we're going to need more bans, because if you think about it, we're going to have to ban the usual stuff that we ban on PC, right? We're going to have to ban like Vatu, Grover, Genos, stuff like that. But then you're also going to have to worry about controller players and controller bans. So stuff like Talus, Lex, you might have to ban Victor, which is a weird concept to me as a pure keyboard player. But yeah, lots of very interesting stuff there. I think they definitely need another ban. And also, I really hope they add a function where you can see what input device people are using on your team, and also on the enemy team. So you can see, like, oh, I have 3 controller players on my team and 2 keyboard players on my team. Enemy team has 5 controller players. Okay. Well, let me ban accordingly. Let me go ahead and just, boop, get rid of Talus. Or, conversely, oh, we have 2 controller players in the lobby and everyone else is keyboard and mouse. Alright, we don't need to worry about Talus. Let's get rid of Vatu. I think that'll be really helpful as well, but I don't see anything in the patch notes here about anything like that. There is some dev commentary here. Of course, this is kind of what I've already mentioned about matchmaking, and they're trying to reassure you here that it'll basically try and put you against people of a similar skill level. So if your opponent is on gamepad, they'll be a gamepad player that performs roughly at your MMR, same with a keyboard and mouse player. But we'll see how well that actually works. It is still Paladins matchmaking, so you never know. But yeah, this is another very exciting and also very controversial change. I've heard a lot of mixed reactions about this, and it's here now. So we're just going to have to test it out. I've said this is one of those changes where we're just going to have to get our hands on it and actually play with it before we can determine for sure whether it's a good or bad change. So yeah, go play some ranked matches. See how it's like, and also enjoy this hard reset, which I guess I should talk about very briefly. A hard reset basically means that everyone's MMR, right, their matchmaking rating, their ELO, whatever you want to call it, gets completely reset. Completely reset. So me, Rock Monkey, and your average Joe are all at the same matchmaking rating when we start the split. And so your placements are really actually going to matter this time, and it's just a total reset. So yeah, this is basically like a fresh start for ranked. The matchmaking is going to be all over the place for the first like 2 months here. But yeah, I guess it's a chance to really reset your rank and try and grind, really. Try and get up to Diamond, Grandmaster, whatever your goal is, really. There are 2 more things to note when it comes to ranked. We have a very nice avatar here for playing 25 games this split. Of course, the split is resetting as well. And there's also a new map rotation. Only one map is getting swapped out. Ice Mines is gone. And they're swapping in Dawnforge. This is another controversial map. I'm very, very curious to see how that plays out in ranked, because this map, there are some very strong opinions about this map held by the community. It's one of those maps that's kind of like Timbermill. Some people really like it, and some people hate it. Yeah, this will be curious. Very curious. Very, very curious. Next up, of course, we have some limited time modes. So we have Subway, which is a special team deathmatch map featuring moving trains that will kill you if you get hit by them. Very fun mode, actually. I played it a little bit on the PTS. There's also this mode, Fog of War, where you get to play on variations of TDM Abyss and Marauder's Port with very heavy fog. And I heard that there are some secret jump scares on these maps as well, so this will be very fun to play as well. And then we're having 4 greatest hits, right, returning favorites. Test maps, Cards to the Max, which is the mode where all your cards are at level 7. It's Treason then, I actually forget what this one is. And then Onslaught every other weekend, so that's our regular Onslaught game mode just returning for the weekends. Now we can finally get into some balance. Most of the balance is actually the same from the PTS, and if you want to see that balance, then I highly encourage you to check out the balance section of my previous patch notes video. I'll have a link to that in the cards right now and in the description, so go check that out. There are a few points I want to hit though. First up, Bomb King. So, we were kind of poking fun at them when the PTS first dropped, because they nerfed the wrong speed card. They nerfed Royal Decree, and that card is still getting nerfed. Why? I don't know. Nobody even uses this card. We always use max ammo instead. But they did finally listen, and they nerfed Shock and Awe. And this is a weird one. So they've kind of done a hybrid of a few different suggestions here. They've nerfed the movement speed bonus, but barely. And they've also nerfed it to a very weird number. 2.75 per tier. I think that maps out to something like 13.25 or something. It's a weird change. But the change that's actually going to hurt this card much more is this change right here. They reduce the duration from 4 seconds to 3 seconds. So you're going to have 1 fewer second to stack this card, which is really going to hit how much you can actually stack this. Before, you could stack it close to like 40-60% movement speed, but now, with a 3-second duration, it's going to be much closer to, I'd say, probably like the 30 or 40% movement speed range, when you also factor in this very slight adjustment down with this nerf here. So, good to finally see this card nerfed. I still say we should just make this card scale to like a flat 30% to level 5, and just make it so it never stacks on itself. So that way it actually works much better with chain reaction. But that's just my opinion. You can let me know what you think in the comments, but at least they're doing something to change this card because, well, yeah, it's kind of busted, and it's been busted for a while now. Now, Furia is actually a bit disappointing to me because they're not actually nerfing Cherish in any way whatsoever after we played with it on the PTS and determined that it was busted. If you haven't seen my video on that, again, go check it out. Link in the description and in the cards. And yeah, it's still going to basically heal for 15% of the target's maximum health with every burst, which scales really well with Rejuvenate and really well with Inara's Mother's Grace talent. Oh. Whew, it's scary stuff, man. We're definitely entering a Cherish meta next patch. I predict she's going to be another top tier healer, if not on the same level as Grover and Genos, then very close to that level. Because this healing is just bonkers. It's way stronger than Cherish used to be in the past, when Furia was meta with Cherish. So yeah, this is a giga buff here. And then Solar Blessing, they actually did point out on the patch notes that its healing per second is getting nerfed. We played with this on the PTS. I didn't actually make a video about it, but we did play with it on the PTS. And we actually got to experiment with this already. And basically what they're doing is they're changing the application rate of the healing from half a second to 0.1 second, which is literally half. It's 50% of the healing that it used to be. It used to heal for 3,000 healing per second. Now it's healing for 1,500 healing per second. That's a huge nerf to the healing per second of Solar Blessing, but of course it now gets the added benefit of applying that healing over time effect to allies who pass through it for 1.5 seconds after leaving its radius. That's why they had to nerf the healing per second, because if you just had 3,000 healing per second lingering on you for 1.5 seconds after leaving the beam, that would be filthy. Now it's actually on the exact same rate as a regular old Ceres heal. Ceres heals for, I think, 1,000 healing per second, actually, so it is still a little bit stronger. But also it's less convenient than a Ceres heal because, well, it's a beam. It's not just an instant whatever she does with her hand. Imani also got some changes on the PTS. Of course, she got a lot of stuff this patch, and so if you want to see the details on that, then go check out my last video like I already said. But the one change that she got between, well, the first iteration of the PTS and now is that the internal cooldowns on Discipline and Draconic Will have been decreased from 5 seconds down to 3 seconds, which is certainly a very nice change, but it still just feels so weird that they're nerfing this cooldown reset build by adding internal cooldowns to these cards when Imani wasn't even close to meta. Meanwhile, 7 has no internal cooldowns. And he's had just insane mobility for well over a year now. Yeah, I don't know. It feels a bit unfair to me, but this is certainly a nice change because it's going to be way better than the 5-second internal cooldowns we had to deal with on the PTS. Anyways, that's basically it for the balance. Vatu didn't get anything extra apart from his damage reduction, and the rest of these characters have gotten absolutely nothing other than what we already knew on the PTS. Now we can scroll down to the bug fixes here. Now, Androxus, we already knew about these bug fixes, of course. The animations being fixed and Darkstalker not separating things properly. They didn't fix the typo! Cryptic! Oh, no. But yeah, there was a bug on the PTS where you could not play Darkstalker at all in a real match. You could only play it in the shooting range. And I've heard that that's been fixed, even though it's not actually listed here. So yeah, don't worry about that, but I guess I am recording this before the update comes out, so I guess if it's not fixed, then I will eat my words and tell me in the comments. Yeah, we'll also read a few of these bug fixes here that I think are important. A lot of these are just kind of non-issues, like this one, where Betty's big rocket gets stuck inside of her if she uses her ultimate at the end of the round. That's kind of funny. But one major bug fix down here regards Nyx. And it's very important, and I want to address it here in this video again, because I think Nyx is a very fun character, but she was really held back by this bug ever since her release. The dry firing issue, the no-regging issue, has been completely resolved. And by completely, I do mean completely. We tested it on the PTS, and she felt like a dream. It was amazing. She worked as intended. So you will actually be able to play Nyx this patch. And have it just work. Just works now. It's crazy. It's amazing. Oh. So yeah, no more no-regging. Whatsoever. Your damage will always register unless it's your fault and you just miss. Really good change here, and I want to emphasize that because, yeah, it almost feels like a balance change, like Nyx has been buffed because her weapon actually works now. But no, it's a bug fix. And yeah, basically I think the biggest bug fix out of all of these with the second biggest, I think, being Androxus's. But yeah, also they updated the UI meter for Rift Slash. Doesn't really matter there. But yeah, the rest of these are just kind of mostly like just cosmetic issues, like grammatical errors and stuff. You know, grammatical errors being fixed here, but not here, I guess. And then yeah, general down here, no real new changes here, which is a bit disappointing because I do want to see some more payload bug fixes. Because yeah, payload is very, very buggy, but I don't think they can tackle everything in one patch. Hopefully next patch they'll have some more good stuff for us, but I guess we'll have to see. And yeah, I guess you can read these here if you so choose. But that is basically everything with the updated patch notes here. So there are a few good updates, definitely, especially to the balance. But otherwise, not much has changed since the PTS. But yeah, I still felt like making this video just because, well, it's nice to give updates to people, right? And hey, if this is your first time hearing about the patch, then here you go. Here's what the update entails. So yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this video, if you found this video to be helpful, then make sure to drop a like. And again, subscribe. I'm trying to reach 60,000 subscribers, and I really need your help. But yeah, also check out the Twitch channel and the Discord server and the VODs channel. Gotta remember to say that in the outro too. Linked in the description down below. I have a brand new VODs channel if you want to catch my Twitch streams, but I stream at a bad time for you. That is the place to go. We're trying to get it to 1,000 subscribers as quickly as possible, so check that out. And yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out.